2, 1.
And bam.
Bam! That was good.
Bam. We're on. We're live.
Well done. I think you've done this before.
I think so. Either that or Remember X, and hey, I've even seen some of the new stuff AI is doing now. You can actually, they're having podcasters. They're actually be able to create an actual podcast person.
Oh no.
It looks like the real thing. So hey, maybe I am AI. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm the tipsy toaster, but hey, maybe
We'll watch
I am
for
the
clues.
AI guy.
We're gonna watch for
anymore,
clues tonight, Tipsy.
I don't know,
Make
Sean.
sure
Are you really Sean? I know we lost.
I'm not
here. So
No.
over here. There's Shawn.
Yes.
Wonder Twin Powers activate.
Nope.
Oh, there.
There we go.
Activate. There we go. So, welcome, Shawn. Thanks for coming in. Pete had a family emergency, and we just wish him the best and everything that goes well on that end. So we have the Battlestar Bulletin board, famous Shawn Scialo. It's great. It's his
Infamous.
Fantastic that you're back on again. It's been a
Not
while.
famous. Infamous.
Infamous. Wait, they're so close to words. They're very, very close words.
Yeah.
I just don't know anymore.
Thank you.
But,
Excited to be here.
When's the
Let's
last
do
time you were
this.
on? You were one of our very first guests way back in the day.
Yeah, but no, I was
6
I
hour.
was on yeah, exactly. I was on for the anniversary for a bit.
Anniversary
Yeah,
one.
with the Professor Patton. So
Yeah. And we have Tara in the back wings waiting for us, so we can pull Tara up. So we have our whoops. There we go. A little off the side. I'll fix it, Shawn. Hang on.
I'm a little
Hi,
off center
Tara.
as it is. Yeah.
Tara's audio.
Good.
Hang on. Yep.
Good.
There we go. Now Tara should work. Right?
Yeah.
Tara?
Hi.
There we go. Okay. We're good now.
We got it. All right.
Always running and gunning here. Never a dull moment.
The
I'll just move
magic of
Shawn
live
over there a little
theater.
bit and shrinking
Yeah.
down a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, I don't want to have a giant head like what was that guy in that really bad Ant-Man movie that had the giant head?
Oh, I don't know that one actually.
Come on, Quantum, whatever it was called. Yeah.
Cool.
That's great.
So I brought Tara on tonight for our toast. So we always do a toast. So if you haven't been with us before, we're Interfleet Broadcasting. We are a fan-run production. We are not for profit, and we love the fandoms. We love the people out there. We love 70s, 80s, 90s, pop culture, sci-fi, even the new stuff that's coming out. We like to talk about all the older movies and the new movies and everything. We really like to have you here. And matter of fact, happy National Science Fiction Day.
I saw that.
As
That's
a-
awesome.
Who
Yeah.
would have known?
Mhm.
It was Mr. Asmanoff's birthday, I believe. So
That's it.
that's what it is. So anyways, welcome. We always welcome everybody on. And I don't have any special coffees tonight, so I'm just going to be drinking my coffee. I'm going to add a little something to it here in a minute. But there you go.
Minutes.
Tara, you got wine
I came
tonight?
prepared this time.
I
I
got
came
the
prepared
wine.
this
You
time.
got the wine? Is it the box kind, Tara, or you got
The very fancy box kind.
box
We
kind?
spare
The
no
black
expense
box kind?
here. It's Tiny Bean Corner.
We're fan-run production. I mean, hey, you got to make a little money, so we don't make enough money for you to get the non-boxed wine, but we'll work on it. I'll have it in your next paycheck. You're all getting a raise, starting at the beginning of this new year. So this is our very first broadcast. So anyways, we always like to cheer the fans. It's so important that we recognize that the people are all a part of the fandom. The people behind the cameras, the people who create the stories, the people who do the lighting, the guys who put tape down to make sure you don't trip over things. All of those people, including the fans, put together, make that fandom. And it's so important that we recognize everybody from in front of the camera to behind the scenes to the creators and writers. So we always say, Fans feel the fleet.
Fans fuel the fleet.
Fuel the fleet.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that needs a little.
Ooh,
There you go.
There we go.
bottle.
I like it black like my Cylon soul.
I stole
Yeah,
my
there.
my wife saw me walk by with that, and she's like, "That's mine." And I go, "Come on, honey, it's for showbiz. Help me out. Help me out."
I'll write it off on taxes. That's it.
Yeah.
But anybody get any cool? Did you guys get any cool stuff for Christmas or New Year's or?
I got clothes.
That's always a
which is
bummer,
good because I needed. Well, no, you know what? I got those really comfy, sweatsuits and stuff I can bring to the gym, and I walk around. I just feel like $1,000,000, so I'm happy with it. I'm
There you
good.
go. Sarah, did you get a new box of wine?
I got a new box of wine. Very exciting.
Nothing else?
Oh, just you know me, just some great new cookbooks that makes me very happy. How about you, Tipsy? What'd you got?
I got a cool light that I just put above my head,
Oh,
and that lights my bald spot evidently. You know,
I was gonna say,
I don't need makeup
what
now.
what did Lucifer, the Imperious Leader, bring you?
Oh yes, the Imperious Leader clause. That and a really cool Ming the Merciless shirt. I love my Ming the Merciless shirts. And,
Okay.
I love those old stuff, but great brand new shoes. I guess
Good.
mainly clothes. I think I'm along with Shawn. but you get a cool light, so I'm good there.
you look good.
Yeah, I can. Oh, of course I do. Yeah. But don't forget to catch. I did a drink recipe online the other day live. So
Oh, you did. I saw that.
that was
I haven't tried it yet.
that's the actual ambrosia recipe. And that
Love
was
it.
the brown version compared to the green version of the new Battlestar Galactica. So, green version requires less bitters. That's all.
Nice.
So, Tiny Bean, you are
I'm gonna have
up,
to try
I
it.
think. So, let me get you set. Oh, let me get you set up. I did not set
Right.
that part of it up. Layers. And we'll put that down. We'll drop that down to there. Tiny Beans. There we go. There's that one. Now we got Tiny Beans set up to talk about Tiny Beans Corner.
Yay! Fantastico. All right. If we are ready to go, Tipsy, I will jump right in. So, hello, IFB. Happy New Year, one and all. Welcome to Tiny Beans Corner, where we discuss new, old, and otherwise interesting things for the fleet's viewing pleasure. Tonight is all about previewing what's in store for us in 2025, as well as a review of a great film streaming right now that you can enjoy. So let's dive in. We have already talked about some of the big things coming to streaming this year that I'm most anxious for, like Season 2 of Severance and The Last of Us, and of course, Alien Earth. But here are 5 more things that we can get excited about. So let's start with Black Mirror Season 7. Charlie Brooker's horror, sci-fi, and fantasy anthology, in the tradition of the Twilight Zone, has long been a favorite of mine. The writing is sharp, the story is original, and there is always an impressive array of talent, both on and off screen. This season looks to be no different. We can expect 6 new episodes, including a sequel to the USS Callister episode that was so much fun.
Oh, that was amazing.
Can't wait for that. It's the first time they're doing a sequel, too. So now, this new season will be filled with the likes of Peter Capaldi, Paul Giamatti, Billy Magnuson, Emma Corwin, and Awkwafina, among others. So this will be sure to delight. It's Netflix, though, so the release date is whatever they decide to tell us. So, in any event, next up, Andor Season 2 will be hitting in late April on Disney. Diego Luna returns in this intense and fascinating prequel to Rogue One, and rumor has it that they have also upped the budget by a huge amount. Also expect to see Ben Mendelsohn show up as the evil Orson Krennic from Rogue One, and Android K2 voiced by Alan Tudyk.
Woohoo.
Word is that after seeing this season fleshed out, going back to rewatch Rogue One will be an entirely new experience. So really looking forward to this one. Now, how about the final season of Stranger Things?
That couldn't come soon enough.
Really, right? They're all like, adult and shaving and all that fun stuff now. But anyway, season 5 just wrapped filming. So that means give or take 8 or 9 months before it's ready to view. Excited to see how they wrap up with the Hawkins crew. And rumor has it, Linda Hamilton is joining the cast.
Ooh.
Yeah. The Duffer Brothers, I hear, have screened the finale to the top execs, and there was reportedly not a dry eye in the house. So, stay tuned for that one. Now, Yellow Jackets is a series that I've talked about briefly before. It's a psychological thriller about a teenage girls' sports team whose plane crash lands in the wilderness and they have to fight to survive. A la Lord of the Lord of the Flies. It's unique in that we follow the lead characters in flashbacks to their time in the wilderness and all the weirdness that unfolds, but also follows them to the present day. The cast is full of heavy hitters like Melanie Linsky, Christina Ricci, Lauren Ambrose, and the young actresses playing them in the flashbacks are all terrific. Season 3 will drop on Showtime on Valentine's Day, and I am looking forward to it. It's really well done. It's creepy, and hey, there aren't a lot of shows like this with a mostly female lineup, so I'm all in. And last for the streaming shows, I'm looking forward to the new Game of Thrones prequel series, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Head Knight, based on the tales of Sir Duncan the Tall and his squire Egg. These are standalone stories set about 100 years pre-Game of Thrones. I love the book, still love the Thrones universe, even if the author refuses to finish it. So I'll take any excuse just to go back to Westeros. It's currently in post-production, so hoping for a summer release. Now, in films in 2025, we will have no shortage of heavy hitters. From a new Avatar, new Superman, the final Mission Impossible, and even new Jurassic World film. There are, of course, some smaller things to look forward to. Coming this April is a film called Sinners from acclaimed director Ryan Coogler, who brought us Black Panther and Creed, teaming again with Michael B. Jordan, who I think is always incredible. This time, he's going for a horror thriller feel, so just take all my money. Jordan stars as ne'er-do-well twins returning to their hometown to start over, only to find a, quote, greater evil there. Sounds a lot like Salem's Lot, doesn't it? Well, details are scarce, guys. They don't want to give too much away, but the trailer is off the hook. Let's not miss this one. Sinners will hit theaters April 18th. And coming our way in March is a sci-fi, fantasy, dark comedy. What a delightful combination. From Oscar-winning director Bong Joon-ho. It's called Mickey 17, starring Robert Pattinson as Mickey, an expendable employee sent to help colonize an ice planet, but here's the catch. He's expendable because when he dies, they're able to regenerate a new Mickey with most memories intact to take over. Well, what happens if something goes wrong and you wind up with 2 Mickeys? So, put me a little bit in mind of The Prestige when I heard the premise. Do you remember that one? It sounds trippy and exciting, and it also stars Toni Collette and Mark Ruffalo. Check out the trailer, guys. This one is going to hit theaters March 7th. Now, with all this fun stuff to look forward to, you may be asking, but Tiny Bean, what can I watch right now? Well, how about a classic courtroom drama from an American icon? Clint Eastwood, at 94 years young, is still showing us how things should be done. Juror Number 2 is his latest and reportedly his last film. and it is everything you have come to expect from this American master. A well put together film with great acting, a solid story, and old school filmmaking with no gimmicks. Starring Nicholas Hoult, who just keeps getting better as the juror in question, where during the course of the trial, he learns some information that could change everything for both the case and for himself. With a stellar cast that also includes J.K. Simmons, Kiefer Sutherland, and Toni Collette, it is great viewing, guys. I won't give anything away, but I ate up every minute of this one right up to the surprise ending. So well done. If this is Eastwood's last film, he's ending on a high note. Check this one out on Max on Amazon Prime. So, really looking forward to a spectacular 2025 fleet. And that is all for the corner tonight. Back to you, Tipsy.
Thank you so much. And that's amazing. I haven't watched Juror number 2 yet. It's on my watch list thing. But I did watch the. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it was one of those that I put off. I was like, oh yeah, I'll catch it when I catch it, and I just got sucked right in, and it didn't move for the whole time. I was like, this is really good.
Mickey 17 sounds interesting, but the picture looks a lot like Battlestar Galactica, the reimagined version where they're in the bath.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, look at that.
The hybrid,
does that look
right?
like
The
Trisha
hybrid.
Helfer in there?
It does. It looks
Yeah.
like.
Oh my gosh! Yes. Amazing.
Good call.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, oh, that's not Battlestar. Oh, damn. But and then of course I won't be watching. I just have never. I would have to go back so far because I have never watched a single episode of any of the
Rogues.
what the heck is that?
The Game of Thrones.
Game of
yeah.
Thrones thing. Yeah, I haven't
Really?
watched any of those. Not a
What's
single
wrong?
one.
Come on, Tipsy. Seriously.
Oh, they're
Just
so
not
good.
not really a big fantasy fan.
House of
Always been-
Dragon was good too. House
Yeah.
of Dragon
Oh
was
yeah, I do love the House of Dragon. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the books, so like I got into the
Yeah.
books first, and I thought the series was fantastic. Like I said, I just wish the man would finish it.
Is he still alive? I don't even know.
He's been talking about that for 10, 12 years. I don't think it's happening.
Right? Seriously, I'm like, okay, I'm still waiting. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I'll give you this instead. No, finish it.
But I would say the production value on those shows is through the roof. It's like watching a motion picture. It really is. That's
Definitely.
fantastic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
People and their money, I swear. And of course, Andor. I love the first one. A lot of people hated it, but I loved Andor. So, and
Yeah,
I'm
love
not a
it.
huge Star Wars fan. That's not a good thing to say tonight, by the way.
Oh boy! Wow.
I like
Your
Star
timing
Wars,
is
but
impeccable.
Yeah, I like Star Wars, but-
What are you doing?
Star Trek, Star Wars, it's Battlestar all the way. I mean, if I had to take a second runner-up, it would probably be Star Wars. I don't know. I think Star Trek would fall number 3. Depends on which one. But I do love
You know
the.
what? You don't
that?
have to rank them. You can love them all.
That's right.
Right, that's how
I mean,
feel.
where's
Love
Logan's
them.
Run? Where's Logan's Run
Oh,
remake? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Where's Logan's Run? Where's Night Industries, Knight Rider? We need another one of those. We need some more of those good old. I mean, have you seen how many remakes are listed in this upcoming year?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Unbelievable how many remakes or follow-ons are coming up. So I guess they're running out of ideas sometimes.
I'm still wondering why nobody has remade The Greatest American Hero, but
Oh my gosh, another great show.
it's like, really?
Yep.
Let's do another Superman, but okay.
Yeah, I just rewatched a couple episodes of that the other day too. I couldn't remember, but he was actually a special education teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, I was
yeah.
like, what? That's like, I didn't remember. I just thought he was just a regular teacher.
You know what's great about going back to some of those old shows like in the 70s and whatnot? It's not just the show itself. It's like you're going back in time to that era because you're seeing, street corners and cities and towns and
phones.
obviously their dress code,
It's
everything.
amazing.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, then one of my very favorites is Miami Vice. So Miami
Oh,
Vice
boy.
is one of the reasons why I love the filmmaking piece of it. It's that, and everybody's heard me say it before. That the best scene that inspires me the most has been that car scene when they're riding over the bridge and they're in the air tonight's playing and they're showing the Ferrari wheels and they're showing the guys behind the inside the car, and there's no dialogue whatsoever, but you can almost hear them talking back and forth. It was always gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. I love that part of it. Just a fantastic show. And they did a remake with I think Colin.
I was gonna say it was Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
It was Colin Farrell. Yeah.
I forget who else.
Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx. Jamie Foxx.
Jamie
yeah.
Foxx.
It
Thank
wasn't
you.
the same. It was good.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the same. So.
It's just hard to capture that time period in today.
Oh yeah,
it's just,
they did. They went. That wasn't the 80s then.
So Tipsy, you had to have if you were a Miami Vice fan, did you get all geared up back in the 80s gear? And is there pictures out there?
There are no pictures out there. I will. The story. I grew up in Wyoming, so.
It's a long way from Miami. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went out and I bought the white pants and the loafers and the pink shirt and a jacket and I wore it to school one time, and I got beat up.
Oh no.
So
yeah.
verbally and physically. So I never wore it again, and I went back to being my geeky self with the flannels and hanging out with all the other people that were nerds. But the good old days.
Oh, the
love
good
that
old
stuff.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tiny, for coming in. It's been great, Tara. You're always amazing to come in and do such a reminder of what's coming up. And you made a recommendation. I think it was the week before last. That was the was it Passenger? No.
Oh, Carry On?
Carry On.
Oh, it was excellent. That
Oh
was
my God.
excellent. I loved it.
That was
I love that.
amazing. So
I love that.
And
So
like you had said, it was
That's fun.
definitely it was definitely Die Hard
Yep.
TSA style.
Yeah, exactly.
It was.
It's the new genre of action Christmas movie, and I'm like all in.
You know those TSA guys that's like their Top Gun now, right?
Yeah.
That's their Top Gun. Like,
Definitely.
The recruitment's going to go up now.
oh yeah.
I don't know, as we see.
Yeah.
Bzzz, beep, bzzz, beep. That's
Good
not that much fun.
Too good.
Aw.
All right. So thanks so much. We will see you again very soon.
Yes. All right.
And,
Thanks, guys. Happy New Year. Fans fuel the fleet. I'll
Fans
be
fuel the fleet.
watching. Enjoy.
Thank you, Tara. Amazing.
Bye,
again.
guys.
Bye bye. Do I get to take another sip now?
You're falling behind there, sir.
I
I get the bottle.
don't want to
back
get too
up.
tipsy.
Yeah. I just slur my words. Then we just start asking weird questions.
Oh, I didn't tell you, Tipsy. Did you see what
There
I was
you
wearing?
go.
Yeah. And I came prepared.
There we go. That is, because Cylons rule. That's all there is to it. The bad guys rule.
Of course.
And just like Darth Maul. Yeah, bad guys rule.
Ooh, nice segue. Nice
Yeah,
segue.
I tried, really planned that one. No, I didn't. But tonight we actually have a fantastic guest tonight. We have a filmmaker who has created a number of films, but also has created and is still looking to create more fan films, which is something near and dear to our hearts since we are in the process of trying to finish ours with the special effects and all the cool stuff that Chuck and Chris and everybody else out there that's doing. We appreciate your help, and we're getting there. We really, truly are getting there. And then, I wanted to mention also that Jack did sign off. If you got an autograph from Jack, I got a picture of him signing them, and I'll be putting that up probably here tomorrow. He's finished signing all of the autographs, and we will be mailing those out shortly.
Awesome.
So,
Fantastic.
without further ado, look at that. I went way off the other side. It was like, I segued and then just non-segued.
You had it, and then
Now we're going to back segue again. But Jack Stoffer, and then how to tie this one in, autographs. This is a person you probably want to get an autograph from sooner or later because he's doing some great stuff. There we go. How's that?
That's good. That works. That works.
So
we'll take it.
There we go. So welcome, Brent. It's great to have you on board. Hopefully the audio's on, so let's check that.
Yeah, let's check it.
There we go. Okay.
There you go.
You can hear me.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep.
So Brent is a filmmaker. He has done a number of things. I've got a number of his videos that he has done listed here. But I think the most important one everybody really wants to know is your Star Wars stuff. And
that's a popular,
very popular one, especially in the nerddom that we live in.
And Tipsy, what's this about not being a Star Wars fan or something?
Oh no, yeah.
Did I hear something about that?
Battlestar is better. I mean,
it wasn't me, Brent. I have Battlestar in my title, and I didn't even go there. Okay, so
I have more Battlestar and Star Trek stuff than I do Star Wars because there's just so much Star Wars stuff.
There's a lot.
I look at it, it's just intimidating. I'm like, do I start collecting something? No. Comic books? No. I mean, it's just, I got the movies. That's what I collected.
Nice try, Tipsy. You're right now. You're trying to hit those reverse thrusters. So good luck. Maximum braking flaps. You got it.
The G-forces aren't going to let me cut.
Battlestar's a great series, just environment. I remember watching it as a kid myself.
Awesome.
I'm dated.
So, what inspired you to be a filmmaker? So you not only do this for a living. So
yeah.
What put you in this this edge of the universe?
This is going to date me as well, but when I was 4 years old, my father took me to see Star Wars: A New Hope in my grandfather's theater in Taos, New Mexico, and that just I didn't know what to say. Here I am again, thinking, what do I say about that experience? There's no words. I walked out of that theater thinking, just being blown away at 4 years old. And Star Wars has been a part of my life ever since. And then, in the 80s growing up, I was like thinking, I want to be an archaeologist when I grow up. I want to be a private eye. And then I got into middle school and I started realizing all the things I ever wanted to be were because of what I was watching. And then that was when I had the epiphany. I need to be a filmmaker. I need to tell these stories. I need to create and inspire other people like I've been inspired.
So to tell you the truth, now that I think back on it, Star Wars, I stood in line and I went and watched Star Wars: The New Hope.
Yeah.
At the ripe old age of probably 78, 77.
Don't lie. It's the side of the internet.
I was 9 years old by then.
Okay.
I was about 9. But 9 years old, I remember standing in line at the Rialto Theater in Casper, Wyoming, to see it more than once. I want to say I saw it 5 times. And the first time I saw it was at the drive-in.
Oh, me too. You just stole it.
The first drive-in. Yeah.
Nice.
I saw Star Wars the first time, guys. Obviously 1977, but it was at a drive-in, and I remember it was a double feature. Remember Orca, the killer whale movie? Yeah.
Yes.
So
wow.
And here's the funny part. So I remember watching Star Wars, and then my parents' reaction was, "What's the big deal?" Like they didn't get it, right? Meanwhile, my mind is blown, and then my parents fall asleep. And I watch Orca by myself, and I'm like, 8 years old, and I was terrified of, going in the water, 3 years after Jaws.
Oh yeah,
as well. But yeah, it was mind blowing. So I feel you, Brent. I feel you, 100%.
Yeah. And I've got to be the first to admit, not all Star Wars is great, right? There it is. Put it out there on the table. But
and there's some definite haters of certain ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
it's some hate.
That's the world we live in now, too.
Yeah.
You know, you can't. In fact, one of my questions to you, and I don't want to get ahead of over our skis here, but is what was your inspiration for this particular? You know, I know we're gonna talk about this Star Wars, you know, this fan film, but what was the inspiration of the story? Like, of why that story? Why did you want to tell that story?
Well, I have to go back to my son. My youngest son, Stephen, passed away from cancer, brain cancer, at the age of 7, and his favorite character was Darth Maul. And when he passed away, I was already a member of the 501st Legion, the Star Wars International Costuming Group, and I was I had a stormtrooper costume, and I knew after he passed, I needed to do a Darth Maul, screen accurate Phantom Menace Darth Maul in his honor, and I did that, and then started thinking about making a film. And dedicating that to Stephen as well. And that's kind of where it began. And I knew I needed to have Darth Maul in the film. And I thought about casting a Maul, but I ended up also playing Maul myself, again, just because of that personal connection to my son.
Wow, that's beautiful, man. And you nailed it, bud. You absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I tried. I did my best. That's all I could do.
You can tell it's a passion project for sure.
Yeah. Well, with that said, why don't we watch? There's no copyrighted stuff in the trailer, right? Is there?
No. It's all. Well, it's a fan film, so it's all copyrighted in it.
Of course.
Speaking. But it's all originally created by me and very many talented people.
All right, let's take a look at it. So here's just the trailer, and if you want to see the rest of it out there, guys, you can catch it on YouTube as well. We would play all 19 minutes of it here. Maybe we'll do that at the end, but we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this over. We might have an echo right now, but we'll get that faded over, and we'll hit this play button.
Kill the girl. Kill all who stand in your way.
15 more clicks to the rendezvous.
Who are we supposed to meet anyway?
Someone who can protect her better than we can.
Got to get to better cover.
At least I die knowing I was making a difference.
Your anger makes you stronger, but not strong enough.
Hey, ugly. Pick on someone your own size.
Such a noble effort.
I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps.
Thank you.
No, that was fantastic. That's awesome. And great. I didn't see I watched the entire the 20-minute film, but I didn't watch the trailer. That was exciting.
Thank you. Good. It's done great out there. Played at a lot of festivals around the whole world. In fact, just a couple of days ago, I was at the India Global Film Festival in Mumbai. So it's been pleasing a lot of fans, and I've got all kinds of fantastic comments on YouTube. Also some stinkers, because there has to be those.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
But it's really gone really well, and I couldn't be more pleased.
So I'm just curious because, and Chris knows this from my, I'm an admin of Battlestar Bulletin board, and so even trying to create any content whatsoever, fan film, a posting to keep the fans engaged. What was the time frame of prep? How long did it take you to prep for that and basically put that all together once you had locked down a story?
I think it was about like a 3-year total. I wrote the script, and then I wanted to see how the script did, other than just a couple friends and family reading it and saying, "Oh, this is awesome! You should make this." So I sent it out to some competitions, and I started, and I thought that gave me some credibility, and I just decided I want to make this. So we went into production, and it took 2 more years, a full year in post-production because of all the visual effects. And, teeny crew, teeny budget, but it was a long time coming. And now we are going to be making 2 sequels back to back. So there will be a shorter time frame to release those, but I am hoping to start shooting in the spring.
Oh, that's fantastic. And so, was there location work as well, obviously, or is there some
Yeah.
location involved? What's that look like?
For Rendezvous, we shot in some fantastic places, and I'm here based in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And so New Mexico has fantastic, we got all kinds of things from pine forests to deserts to canyons and so we shot, the image you're looking at now is in a place called San Lorenzo Canyon down in the center of the state near Socorro. And it's a pretty awesome slot canyon. And then the first part of the film we shot out at the Bisty Badlands, which is further north. Amazing place. It looks like another planet, literally, with hoodoos. There's a picture of some of the hoodoos behind us. And so we shot in those two locations primarily.
They look amazing, and New Mexico's known for that, right? Like, there's a lot of Hollywood productions that, for that very reason, there's so much scenic, like Santa Fe and just the whole area around Albuquerque, really the entire state is fantastic.
Yeah, Breaking Bad is off, it's a series that everyone knows that was shot here, and
Sure.
But that's not it. There's a lot of production going on here, Hollywood production.
I love this picture.
That was an afternoon. I had shot my mall scenes, the remainder of them that morning, and then I had to, transition back to directing behind the camera. And I'm not going to go. We're out in the middle of nowhere.
Did you sleep with your makeup on? Did you sleep?
No, but I did take those uncomfortable contacts out the minute I could.
Holy cow! Yeah.
There's a funny story on that location there. The trailer alludes to another character, a beloved Star Wars character, and I'll go ahead and say it because she's on the poster. It's Ahsoka Tano, and so there she is. We were shooting the scene where Darth Maul and Ahsoka have the rematch, and they have that epic fight at the end of the Clone Wars season 7, right? And so for Star Wars Rendezvous, I wanted to show a possible rematch, and that was a lot of fun. But we were out here in the canyon. We had a permit to shoot there, but we didn't have an exclusive. It wasn't exclusive. So hikers would walk through all day.
Oh my gosh.
And I wasn't expecting so many of them to come through, but we were very gracious and we let them watch the scene that we were shooting. And someone took a photo, and we let them take photos, but someone took a photo and they posted it on Reddit, and it blew up the internet.
Oh, no.
Pretty soon, the Star Wars community was saying, this has to be a set leak from the Ahsoka TV show that was shooting.
Oh, no.
And they were mistaking our production. I didn't find out about it for a couple of weeks, but it was all over the place. It actually gave us a little positive buzz. But
it's almost nerve-wracking at that point. Like, if Lucasfilm finds out about it and goes, "Oh no, we're shutting that down."
Yeah.
It was a little nerve-wracking at first, but it was debunked, right? Yeah, they're not shooting with the same cameras that Lucasfilm was shooting with, etc. But boy, those are good costumes, and so that was quite the. I loved hearing that compliment.
Oh, yeah.
So,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I was going to say, what obviously great locations. You said 3 years in the making, the special effects, and Chris knows all too well all about that in post production. But and now you got hikers coming through. But from a strictly filming, what was there any major obstacles?
Oh my gosh!
There were days where you thought, like, I don't know if this is going to work, or
One of the worst days in my life was on this, going back to that San Lorenzo Canyon. It's in Fish and Wildlife place, and it's just open to the public to camp. And I didn't think as many people knew about this, but we showed up to shoot one Saturday morning. Had like 30 people, crew, cast, everyone, porta potties, the whole shebang. Trailers, and that canyon was chock full of like 100 to 200 Boy Scouts and their fathers.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh.
There was absolutely no way we could have shot that day, and therefore I had to punt. We had to reschedule that day after everyone had driven an hour and a half to get there from Albuquerque. So that was just heartbreaking. The next days we scheduled to shoot there. I had some friends of mine and my son and daughter go down there, and they camped. We did that. We pulled that trick. We camped there ourselves to reserve it for production, and glad we did, because we would have been stopped out again with other campers that took up that space.
That's crazy. And I'm sorry, I don't know the truth. There's a honest question. Who made up your crew? Like, where did are these old collaborators, fans as well, friends?
Yeah, a lot of professionals that I work with who came in for the low budget, and then we also use students. So what I really enjoy doing, placing students that wanted to work in film with people who had more experience. So like on the camera crew, we'd have director of photography who had professional 20 years experience or whatever, and then we'd have some camera PAs mixed in. Same thing with other departments. So we really filled out the production really nicely and gave a lot of people some good experience.
That's awesome. I wish I took a film class back in 1989. And Jack
they had
Garner,
film back then. You sure you didn't take a VCR class?
I know.
Shooting 8mm.
Yeah. Well, here's my claim to fame, guys. It's my claim to fame. I don't have many, but my claim to fame is my teacher at Monroe Community College in Rochester, New York. He was for film class. If you look on the back of a cover box of the movie Batman, Michael Keaton's Batman, Jack Garner is the guy. His review is there. It says spectacular entertainment. That's my claim to fame. But no, what I was. I'll tie this back together. The fact that you brought film students in like that's amazing, and I'm sure that was a great experience for them.
I think so. Everyone enjoyed being on set and just being part of that experience, which is one of the reasons why we make fan films, right? It's because it's so enjoyable to make that and be part of a larger franchise that, we don't have the rights to, but allows those films to be made. Thank you, Lucasfilm and Disney, by the way.
Awesome.
Right. Were you ever nervous that being a fan film, we're always nervous as well, as somebody's going to get a hold of it and go, that's it, shut it down. Because they have the ability to do that.
They absolutely do.
That's scary.
Historically, that hasn't happened with the Star Wars fan films. In fact, Lucasfilm actually used to have a fan film festival, and I think that went away after Disney acquired. But I'm guessing, guessing that behind the scenes, Lucasfilm must have said, hey, we love our fans. They are important to us. We need to allow them to continue cosplaying and making fan films and doing all the things they do, because it creates the buzz we need to survive and to be legitimate in society. It's
so important that they have to realize that fans do, fuel the fleet. They do fuel the fandoms. Without the people, and if you poop on the fans, then they're probably gonna retaliate in some way, shape, or form. So
and we did play by the rules. Yeah. We did not publicly fundraise. We have not monetized the film. It checks all the right boxes.
Right. How did you fundraise? I mean, how much did you? Can you talk? Is that something you want to talk about or not? I mean, how much money did it take to do this?
I think it ended up being around $25,000-$30,000.
Wow.
And that was myself coming right out of my own pocket. But I had some very, very kind friends, and I met people along the way that donated to that project. And so it was not all me. Had some very, very good people who were very invested in making this a success.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can see it on the screen. Like every dollar is on the screen for sure. So well done.
People donated their efforts in kind as well. We paid everyone at least something for every day of shooting, but had several people in post-production give discounts as well as volunteer. One of the visual effects guys that I used just was amazing with his time and donated it in kind. So in kind and
yeah, the visual effects is I'm jealous. We have some great visual effects on ours, but there's I dabble at this point in time, trying to learn as much as I can on After Effects and you know, and all of the different one, Mocha, and we've got everything else that we're trying to play with. And
good skills to have. Yeah,
and you know, my goal is to keep playing around with it till I become good at it. Right now, I am at YouTube watch level.
Well, great place.
Yeah, it's just
a lot of great content out there.
That and you know, we're really I'm really excited in regards to I took a class in Unreal Engine. Filmmaking in Unreal Engine is just that. Oh wow! Now if I could just get green screen down right, but that's always the chroma key is always the hard part for the live action piece of it. But I really am blown away with the things that can be done with Unreal Engine. Just like they're filming the backgrounds and huge productions.
Unreal Engine will be a huge part of our sequels. And we're going to be using a system called Jet Set to be able to view on set, on the green screen, the Unreal environment. So we can frame our shots, see a rough composite. So we kind of know what we're doing and lighting the green screen and the actors on the green screen. We're starting to work on that right now, build some virtual environments to use, because we're going to be going to some places that you can't find them anywhere. We're going to be going to Dathomir. We're going to be going to Malachor. There's no place on Earth you can actually shoot those environments, so we're creating them.
So cool.
Oh, green screen. How much? I noticed didn't look like there was a lot of green screen in this one.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah, the only one I probably spot that you could probably say green screen may have been when the FET takes off and goes up the.
No green screen there. No.
Did you haul him up with a rope?
No, we didn't have wires. Just didn't have that budget. But no, that was just a rotoscope. So
okay, just rotoscope.
Yeah, I had the actor run and take a jump, and I just froze that image of him with his feet up off the ground, because you know the feet angle a little bit when you leave the ground. So I needed the feet angled instead of flat on the ground. So just freeze that frame, and then you rotoscope around him, add the puppet tool in After Effects, right? And so you have some wiggle, some movement, and then just animate him up after you've shot a clean background plate. Am I talking French here? But
I've learned the hard way that I wish we had done some clean background plates.
Yeah, very.
Oh, I learned so much off of our very first FANFILM production, and there's always something. What do you learn from something? The lessons learned. What was your biggest lesson learned on yours? Besides camping the spot.
Oh boy.
What was the biggest mistake that you made that you got out of or figured a way out of?
Well, I think we're going to redesign some of the prosthetics for the sequels. These aren't big things, but the Ahsoka, she has the prosthetic headpiece, and it came down, and her earlobes were always kind of poking out, and we had to do a lot of erasing in post, getting rid of those earlobes, and that was tedious, especially during some of the action scenes. So the sequels, we're going to redesign it, and we look at the live action Ahsoka. Rosario Dawson wears a headpiece. It looks like she's got headphones. Well, those headphone kind of pieces of that are to cover her ears up better, and we're going to have to learn from what they've done well. And so, there's a lot of little things like that.
Well, I want to say we've got quite a few people watching, especially like Mediocre Modeler, who does props. He loves doing props. He has got his own channel that he does different Star Wars. He's a big Star Wars fan, by the way. Props. Not that I'm not, but he's a bigger Star Wars fan than I am. And he's done so many different props and everything else. And I guess he came up with his questions. He's like, "You've got some great props. Props look great. Who did all your props?" Wow.
I did a lot of them. Yeah.
Wow.
3D printing, or how'd you do them?
I was 3D printing, exactly. Yep.
You sound like a jack of all trades there, buddy.
Yeah, I have worn a lot of hats in my years, and I added 3D printing because I didn't have any experience. I just had to jump in. When I first started buying some props, I figured I'm never gonna be able to do what I need to do unless I buy a 3D printer for $350. And then, I get on Thingiverse because I'm not a modeler. And I could do Thingiverse easily. So I started just making stuff.
That's great.
What's the most impressive one that you did? That you felt was the most difficult, but you were most happy with?
I think the map, the communicator, it had an iPhone screen inside it, so we could actually animate on and
We didn't
for the
put that
right
in.
daylight scenes. We tracked it in. We did it in post, but in the canyon, when we came back to it glitching out and not working, we actually used the screens because we had nice shadows and it showed up. So that little gadget was my own creation, and I think it turned out fairly well. And I did all the wiring, LEDs, and things like that myself as well. And that was also a stretch because I'm not an electrician. I had to watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to wire a little LED bulb.
Arduino.
Using a button cell pad.
Now Arduino, the AI will actually write the Arduino code now. It's amazing.
Yeah, I wish I would have had some AI tools back then.
Oh yeah, that's just amazing. So everybody's saying you've got very cool. Looks like Lola and Artie Moreno, the author. We've got a bunch of people on tonight. Mediocre Modeler says Darth Director. He also says the props look good. We have, let's see, George G's in the house. Alberto Morales. We've got just Scott Good. Everybody's in tonight.
Cool. The whole gang's here. Hey Brent, I keep thinking, I'm reliving it. I watched it twice today, and obviously a beautiful inspiration. What the tone you chose? Here's what I not that it's a surprise, I guess, but what I took away, part of it was the humor. You really interjected a lot of humor, and it's pretty. I don't want to give it away. There's a great scene between Maul and it deals with his lightsaber that had me laughing pretty loud. But can you tell us about the period you went for in the Star Wars timeline here, and then the tone you just, because Andor has a tone, Ahsoka has a tone. All this, like you said, there's good Star Wars and the whole gamut. But what were you shooting for?
Well, I wanted to tell my story in a portion of time that had not been done too much. And, Lucasfilm is now focusing all their TV shows on after Return of the Jedi, right? In between Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi. And so I knew I didn't want to tell a story there, but I knew there was this period, and I love Rogue One, and I love that time frame where the Jedis are being hunted down, the Rebel Alliance is coming to life. I love Andor. And so I knew there was some story availability in there. And I'm also a big fan of Rebels, the animated series Rebels and Clone Wars. And as I mentioned, huge fan of Darth Maul, care of my son, and Ahsoka Tano's a favorite. And I knew that I wanted to tell that rematch between Ahsoka and Maul. I wanted to do something there. And I also was really interested in telling the story of a young Force-sensitive kid who was running from the Empire. And that's kind of where the seed starts. And in fact, parts 2 and 3 finish her story. This little girl who's who's featured in Rendezvous. It's her arc that I'll be telling.
I was just going to ask you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't give it away, but what what the story arc or what we can expect? Maybe a little sneak peek. What we can expect going forward.
Well, Ahsoka. Yeah, I guess how many spoilers can we really go with? Because we do pick up. I'll just say this: after Rendezvous ends, there's a period of time, and it matches the actual period of time that has happened in real life because the young actress Rylan Healy has grown up a little bit, and so I can't take it off immediately when we end. We got to jump a little bit of time because she's now a little older, but she's been training. And she's become more adept at using the Force. I won't say who her mentor is because that might spoil things. But she's being pulled, and I'm not going to spoil another little secret of Rendezvous because I think it's a big one that adds some interest. But she's trying to find out who she is and where she fits in this whole universe. So it's a self-discovery.
That's great. Just tell me she's not a Palpatine, right?
I'm not saying. You just have to watch Rendezvous, find out who she is, who she's related to, if any.
That's great.
It's fantastic. And speaking of the actors that you got on there, how do you go about getting the actors for this? Do you go for backstage, or did you just hit a fandom website, or hit the 501st? What did you do to get the actors?
Well, there's definitely 501st involvement. I did pull from that group, and they were fantastic because they had, the costumes ready to go, and they served as mostly as bounty hunters and costume parts and weapons. But the actors that I needed to do the heavy acting, lifting, I casted. I went through a full casting process. I went out to agents, and I had some ideas of who might play certain characters when I was writing, because as a filmmaker, I do have a healthy roster of actors that I've worked with in the past and have really wowed me, and I knew kind of who I wanted to ask to audition, but then I opened it up past that as well to really make sure I had the right actors. Other than me, I was just a gamble myself.
You did well, sir.
Yeah, you did.
You're very, very good. I would say you were Darth Maul for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Brent, do you have any fan? Are you a fan of other fan films? Is there any that at the top of your list, if you will, that you've looked at and it's like, oh wow, that was really good. I want to tap into that.
Yeah, there's some Witcher fan films out there that I've been impressed with. And then I've also seen, there's a bunch of Star Trek fan films. Probably as many as Star Wars. No, I think there's probably more Star Wars fan films. But I've seen a couple of Lord of the Rings fan films as well that I've been really impressed with. And obviously, I'm a little partial to Lord of the Rings.
Look at that. That's kind of cool.
So my studio office here is a Lord of the Rings themed space that I built.
Wow.
I thought I recognized the tree thing in the background there.
Yeah, Tree of Gondor.
Yep.
So is that in our future? Are we going to see some Middle Earth?
I don't know. I think for fan films, I'm going to make these two more sequels, and then I am off to make a feature. That is the plan.
Awesome.
A feature fan film or a feature film?
No, just a feature. A bona fide feature film. I'm writing
an original feature. Yep.
An original feature.
Kind of where we're wanting to head as well.
It's a UFO theme. Abductions.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant UFO the show. I'm like,
oh,
is that a fan film?
Okay, so now I have questions. Look, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right? Steven Spielberg. Like, okay, so you talk about UFOs and that kind of thing. What is your inspiration there?
I've read a series of books recently that have really just opened my eyes to the whole thing. I've always been interested, and I actually a number of years ago I shot part of and edited a documentary called UFOs and Nukes by researcher Robert Hastings, and he focuses on the nuclear industrial complex and the UFO encounters therein, and really interesting things and documents, and that kind of opened my eyes to the phenomenon. But as time goes on, I keep hearing stories and going, wow, what's going on here? And I don't know what it is exactly, but I just finished reading a 3-part series book by author Jacques Vallée, starting with Dimensions, and they're really, really interesting. And he takes them case by case, all throughout the entire history of UFO. He talks about aliens and demons and angels and all of this, and where those where one crosses the other, and what's what.
Sure. Well, we're big Battlestar fans here, and Chariot of the Gods was something that Glenn A. Larson was very much into, and where did the pyramids come from?
Yeah.
And that kind of thing, and it really taps into, I think, all of our interest in mythology and connecting the dots, right, to humanity and all the fun, pew 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 stuff that can be out there too, right? Or maybe it's just the New Jersey drones that it's news now. Maybe it's that.
I got some. Goodness. I mean, I don't fly those there. No. Speaking of drones, you do any drone shots there? I know that most of the parks most of the parks don't allow the drones, which really ticks me off. Yeah. So, but you have to get special permits to fly the drones in those like canyon areas and everything else. But the drone shots look amazing in that as well. So I don't know who your drone pilot was, but he was doing a fantastic job as well.
Yeah, that was very well
My
done.
director of photography. Yeah.
So
cool.
Speaking of other shows, I mean, it's not. It would be remiss if we didn't show other things that you've done. I mean, you are Anti-Gravity Films.
I am.
And you have done. This is kind of like your portfolio. You've done some. Looks like a couple of documentaries, as well as there's your short film, and you've got some commercial work that you've done.
Yep, commercial work, documentary, broadcast. That provides me, some funding to make my own projects.
Yep. Variant U.
Yes.
I started watching a little bit of that one. That's a short film that looks very. Did you write that one, or was that
I wrote and directed? Yeah, I wrote and directed Variant U back in the early part of 2020. It was I'd written it a year and a half before, and it's about a scientist, actually a partnership of a scientist and a person who is seeing ghosts, but they're developing a weaponized virus to unleash on the world. It's a little bit of a horror, a little bit thriller, and we wrapped it right before COVID shut the world down.
Wow.
It's a really interesting coincidence.
Yeah.
We were in post-production in isolation, and that was an interesting aspect to that production. Wow. But it's done well. It's played at some festivals and won some awards as well. It's out on YouTube. You can watch it.
Yep. Freebirds.
I do a lot of work for a local studio called StoryQuest, and they do these little productions, these little short films with acting students to give them some exposure in front of the camera, to also build up their own reel. And so I serve mostly as a director of photography and editor for that collaboration. So there's a number of short films there with StoryQuest Studios.
And if somebody wants to hire you, you have a homepage at Anti-Gravity Film. There you are with, is that a red? No.
I do shoot with the red Komodo. I think that picture is a Blackmagic.
Yeah, that's a. Yeah, I'm jealous. Sony. We don't shoot with. We didn't shoot with film with cell phones, but sometimes I wondered if we might have been better off with a couple of those shots. I know. One of the things I learned in our show, in our fan film, don't shoot with 3 different cameras.
Hard to match.
Oh my gosh! Even if it's the same company. Blackmagic Design has got some interesting cameras, but one Blackmagic design does not equal the other 2 different Blackmagic
I've
designs.
encountered that. Get a good colorist. They'll be able to match it.
Yep. Colorist. What's that? you're looking at the editor, the colorist, the special effects guy, everything on that, and I've gone to YouTube University and a couple of offline classes as well. But I've got some experience in regards to what I do for work for a living, but I don't do this kind of stuff for a living.
Yeah.
So I'm clawing and
deep.
scratching my way through. Did you ever have did you ever get classes? Did you ever take classes before you started doing all this, or was this a hobby that grew into a job?
My dad had a VHS camcorder, and I picked that up and started making my own movies with my siblings and friends, and that's where it began. I was wandering the high school back in the library, and I saw this. Okay, this is really going to be right. A VHS deck-to-deck editor with editing console, the shuttle wheels and everything. And I said, "What? Why does the school have this?" I went to the librarian and asked him about it, and he said, "The teachers just make dubs, but no one really knows how to use it." And I said, "I want to know how to use it." He says, "Well, good luck." He said, "If you want to teach yourself how to use that thing, you're more than welcome to. And I'll tell you what, come on as a library aide next semester, and instead of shelving books, you can teach yourself how to edit." So there was my beginning.
Wow.
And I taught myself how to edit. And then after that, making more films. I'd make a film instead of an oral report for a class, Spanish or English history report. I'd ask the teacher if I could make a video instead. And most of the time they'd say, "Yeah, why not? Sounds interesting." So I'd make a little documentary. Got an internship at a TV station. And my freshman year in college, and then started shooting. I did take some classes, university classes, mostly screenwriting and some production classes, but I had started shooting independent for like the Today Show and NBC News, some of these news magazine shows, Ripley's Believe It or Not, as a freelancer, doing regional work before I graduated, and then just kind of went from there.
Great. And Brent, what would you give anyone listening out there advice and to get started?
Oh, there's so many resources available now that there wasn't when I was just learning. So, there's a plethora. Watch everything you can. Read everything you can. There's so much out there, so much content to learn from. Get on a production. There's always production assistant jobs available in almost any city where there's, even a small town where there might just be one production company that does mom and pop videos or whatever. One of my first jobs was for a place called Corporate Image Video, and just owned by one guy and his wife. And he brought me in, and I learned nonlinear editing, and just started shooting professionally doing that. But there's always an open door somewhere.
Yeah, I think in this day and age, right? It's just, if you want it, it's there to be had. You just got to go get it, right? And make it
you got a phone.
Yeah,
you can make amazing films on your phone.
Sure. Yeah, that's
just
great.
Go do it. Yeah, just go do it. There's no excuse for not taking initiative and picking up whatever equipment you have and making it work and learning.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So you say you also write. How do you go about your writing? Some people do pantsers, so they just go right by the seat of their pants. Others are, yep, I'm there with the seat of the pantsers type stuff. Others are outliners, and then they go ahead and follow books like Save the Cat, or those Hollywood formulas that are out there. How would you describe your writing process for when you write a movie or you write a script?
I'm an outliner. I get an idea, and I have to break it down into the story and outline. I'm not going to start in on final draft writing the actual screenplay until I have a pretty detailed outline. One scene after the other, at least sequences outlined, so I know where it's going. Otherwise, I just waste too much time bopping around and trying to figure out, what am I doing next? Where's this character going? Yeah. And what's the end result?
Wait, what happened? I should have put this in the first.
There is some of that.
Yeah.
Even you depart from the outline. You find out. It's a journey, but the outline just provides a roadmap that you can take or detour.
Gotcha. What about so? Other than writing for Star Wars, or what would be your? Sounds like you already have your dream job. What fandom would you love to be the writer for, other than Star Wars?
Well, I do have a pitch for Lucasfilm if they want to listen to it.
Oh, what's the pitch? Throw it out here.
Well, we'll tell you if it's any good.
I'll tell you. Yeah. Star Wars, it sucks. I mean, just kidding.
I pitched them a TV show, an anthology TV show, like Visions, which is the animated anthology. Mm-hmm. But this would be a live-action anthology featuring lesser-known characters or minor characters, backstories, and even unknown characters. But the big idea here is that I would bring in really talented fan filmmakers who have done well for them on the internet and who are professional. And I would bring them under the Lucasfilm umbrella, maybe pair them with mentors, and they would make their own stories become canon.
Ooh, that would be like. So, I always talk. I make fun of a lot of the different the big two, Battlestar. Star Wars and Star Trek. The big two, they're always creating new niches to get the younger fans involved. They're the cartoons or the animated pieces or whatever else that they'll throw in, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Kenobi series, where they throw in the child in there. They throw in to hook the younger people.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot.
Even Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew. It sounds a lot like that. Your idea sounds a lot like the way to hook new talent in regards to fan fiction. And this is our first freeze, and I've got internet is good. All right, there you
go. You're back.
We're back.
Yep.
But yeah, these would be short stories, and they would really connect the fandom to and bring the fandom into the fold. And I've actually written like 14 log lines to seed the story ideas. And they would be everything from, little exciting thrillers to mysteries to even some mockumentaries, like The Day in the Life of a Nerf Herder. I think that would be interesting to see.
Have you ever...
I would pay for that.
Yeah. So there was some great Star Wars... actually, I have some Star Wars fan stuff. There's great Star Wars books in regards to it's called From a Different Point of View.
Oh yeah, those are good.
So you get, it goes through the timeline of the actual movie, but it gives you somebody that was in the movie that nobody ever pays attention to. So the Nerf herder, the guy who's the Tauntaun guy who is working the Tauntauns has a storyline, and each one of these people have given a a quick story to that. It sounds a lot like that because I love those audiobooks are amazing. If you haven't had a chance to check those out,
I'll have to check those out.
Yeah, from a different point of view, they got the different ones.
It sounds like the Marvel What If almost.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, very much like that.
But these are it stays with the canon. It just drops into a different view. So
Unsung heroes.
Yep, the guy that was standing there with the tauntaun in the Empire Strikes Back, and
you'll freeze before you reach the first marker.
That guy, that's the guy. They do a whole backstory for this guy and how he got there, and he puts in how he feels about the characters. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's like, man, those would be great storylines. Great things that can go on.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And then, so being Anti-Gravity Films and being FANFILMs, you have your company is you actually have I want to say you have a jobby, it looks like a hobby and a job all rolled into one.
A jobby.
Oh, I love what I do, and I don't know if I could do a day job, a desk job, and be happy. I'm just fortunate to be able to love what I do for a living. Really fortunate, blessed.
So, with that in mind, who are your unsung heroes? Who are the people that push you? Who are your family that keeps you going and looks at your crazy ideas or your videos and like, okay, whatever you want to do, brothers, sisters, relatives, wives, husband, or whatever you got. Who's the person behind you that drives you the most for doing this and supports you?
My wife is a very harsh critic, and she doesn't let me get away with crap.
Oh my gosh!
She reads the scripts and she goes, "Okay, that works. That doesn't work at all. Why don't you? Can you do something different there?" And so, sometimes that really helps a lot, and sometimes it frustrates. but she's always there to really kind of ground me. And when I was making Rendezvous, I think it was leading up to the first day of shooting. We were in a hotel up in Farmington, New Mexico, getting ready to go down to the Vista and shoot. And I was almost having a panic attack. Can I really do this? I've done a lot of films, but this is larger than anything I've ever tried to take on. And she was right, calming me down and saying, "You can do this. You got this."
Wow. That's important to have somebody. Is she a Star Wars fan?
She's not at all. She hates Star Wars.
That's my wife too. I'm like, so we do broadcasts every Thursday and about Battlestar and stuff like that. Not a clue.
But she's great at story. She's great at. She watches a lot of mystery and detective stuff. She loves the murder mystery genre.
Wow.
And
get my wife.
So she approaches everything very critically.
Yeah, my wife too. It's just like. So I was doing some editing today for the FANFILM, and she's like, "That looks like it's on too long." And I'm like, I just spent hours doing that. It's too bright. I'm like, you're killing me. Stop.
Yeah.
Then I look at it, and I'm like, yeah, it is too bright. Damn it.
But if you're humble enough and you sit back and you go, okay, something's not working here, and I don't know exactly what she's saying, but something's off, and what is it? And then you can troubleshoot a little bit.
Yep.
You're better off for it.
Yep. Sometimes it's that person that that's willing to give you that
honest, brutal feedback,
brutal information. Oh, so we've got. I'm going to pull this up one last time. You have a Facebook site as well, and
and Instagram.
Anti-Gravity Film. Anti-Gravity Films, and there's a sneak peek.
Just made a post today.
Yep, that was sneak peek today.
That's a new Ahsoka. The original Ahsoka is not available, and it's heartbreaking. But she's got something fantastic coming up in her life that is going to be wonderful for her. So I'm really excited about her news. That's her own to share, but she's not available for our film, so I had to recast. Virginia Asbury, and I have this amazing actress, Emily Rose Hernandez, as the new Ahsoka. And I worked with her last in my previous short film, Angelito, which is currently seeing audiences in the film festival circuit.
Awesome. Yeah, we've started dipping our toes in the film festival circuits just with the trailer that we have, and it's been exciting to see the people who, you inspire other people to see something like this. You inspire other fans, you inspire other people, and I think it's so important that we recognize that your writing and your capabilities and your talent has inspired others to do things. You don't realize it probably years from now when we're gone. This film will live on. The Star Wars universe will have something in there. You'll have somebody will watch this film, just like I've got a ton of fanzines behind me. Somebody's written something, somebody else has put it down and has shared it with somebody, and that it's so important that you don't keep it to yourself. That if it's something you are passionate about, which you are, you have created something and shared it with others that inspire them to maybe want to do something as well.
Amen to that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on, and I think I'm really excited to see what comes up next. We want to have you back on whenever you're ready to give us the full sneak peek of the next ones.
Absolutely.
The world premiere of the trailer.
World premiere of the trailer. We'd love to do that too, with the trailer of the new ones. And so when are the next two coming out?
I'm hoping for the end of this calendar year.
Wow.
It's a long process.
Yeah.
But
that's
I think
fast,
we're going to get some economies of scale doing them back to back, and make it happen. We've got some good momentum going forward.
Yeah, I know it's taken me forever to get to the point where we're at now, and this is my year for finishing off our fan film and getting it out, so we can move on to other projects.
Yeah, excellent. To get it done. Good luck.
Get it done.
Get her done.
So, but anyways, we want to have you come back on. Thank you so much once again for coming on, and I really appreciate your time. I know it's
thanks, Brent.
It's been it's a lot of time away from your family or whatever else to do these kind of interviews or do these kind of things, and hopefully we throw some business your way in regards to going to your if somebody wants to do a movie or a commercial, look up Anti-Gravity Films. Maybe you can help them out.
Thank you. Yeah,
it's important that we all got day jobs. I get it. That fuel our fandoms and fuel our passions. Those are the kind of things that we need to have as well. So, but thanks again. We'll have you back on. We'll definitely reach back out. Please reach out to us when you are able to come back on and talk about the next iteration. Maybe it's a new movie. Maybe it's not Star Wars related. Hopefully, just kidding.
I'm gonna be watching out for that UFO film. Yeah,
the UFO film sounds fantastic. I got excited though because I thought it was like the British UFO season of the show, but that's definitely a fan film in that case.
About 75% done writing it, so it's almost finished.
Wow. How long do you think it's going to be?
At least 90 minutes.
90 minutes. Wow, fantastic. Sweet. I want a remake of V. Come on, somebody.
There's a good show.
Yeah.
The original.
Put that with the
original.
UFOs and the we'll go there. Anyways, sorry. I off tracked, but thanks a lot. We'll have you back on as soon as we can, especially, like I said, reach out, stay friends, come back on and let us know what you're doing. Send us a text message or whatever else. Reach out through John, reach out through me, and we'd love to have you back.
Thank you.
Once again, it's all about people like yourself, because as we say, it's the fans that really do fuel the fleet, and you're a super fan. So here's to you, sir. Thank you for doing what you do, and continue to do it. Take care.
Take care.
Oh, what we got? There we go.
There you go.
Take care, sir. Just wow.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I truly am inspired. Like that, you just go do it, right? Just go do it. Get off your butt.
Yeah.
And go
The
do it.
Nike commercial, just go do it.
Yeah.
But, it just seems overwhelming. And I mean, when we put our fan film together for the first time, it just seemed overwhelming. I wrote it and I'm like, this is exciting. I would hopefully that this would go somewhere. Hopefully it's going to do something. And you're like, I don't know anything about this. We got SAG waivers to go through. We got all of that stuff. I mean, it was just overwhelming in regards to insurance and
Yeah.
Brent's,
When did you
Brent's
shoot?
still online. Yeah. What's that?
When did you shoot?
We shot this May of 24.
24. Okay, so SAG had the micro budget.
Yeah,
which-
micro budget. Yeah, that's what
God.
we did.
If you did it back when I did Rendezvous, the paperwork was incredible. They've simplified it so much better to work with SAG now in that range.
Yeah. So the micro budget and having the waivers, especially now with being able to use their images, you have to have them sign off on that as well. The audio, all of that has to be signed off, and the I didn't know any insurance. I'm like, where do I go get insurance? So I'm like, oh, by the way, here's a website. And you go to the website, and you're like, we'll give you $100,000 worth of insurance. I'm like, what for? What am I insuring this for? And I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody falls off and falls down or whatever else. I'm like, and how
Gotta have
a
liability.
lot of the questions. How many stunts are you having? I'm like, stunts? What do you qualify a stunt? I mean, it was so intimidating. But you muscle through it. You find people who know what that is. I mean, luckily we had a great actor, who stars in our show, George Zovalos, had experience in that, and we had a Emmy award-winning camera guy who was able to give us a little bit of insight as well. And so we finally got all the paperwork filled out, and we found somebody who could kind of do makeup, and we found some people who could kind of do backdrops, and we built green backdrops, and then found out that our biggest mistake in our film, as we found out, was we filmed it on a stage.
Yeah.
And the stage people said, yeah, there's plenty of room, but they didn't tell us that we couldn't move certain things off the stage.
Oh.
So the chroma key splash is intimidating. We were shooting, normally you want to 3 feet away from the green screen. We were shooting 1 foot away from the green screen.
Oh, that's really hard.
So the splash on it is horrible. It's intimidating at that piece. And then, of course, but some of the AI stuff now that like Mocha has and After Effects has, and I'm hopefully not intimidating anybody else out there, but some of the stuff that they have is pretty amazing. The machine learning language stuff that they have in some of your editing programs are, I'm like, wow, thank God they have these things, because it saved my bacon on a couple of these shots. I'm like, I can't get rid of the green screen. There's so much splash, and the machine learning language is, these pixels are moving and these pixels are not. So I was like, this thing's pretty amazing. But it's still so much to learn. Software is so much to learn, and then of course so excited. You're so excited to learn this new product and look at Unreal Engine, and you see the capabilities behind it. But you open it up and you're like, ooh, that a lot of capabilities here, but I don't know what this round thing is.
It's deep, and one of the things I've learned over and over again is you don't have to do everything yourself. You find those people who know and are willing to collaborate, and they make it happen.
Oh, we've got some great fans. We've got a number of guys who have done some really cool. Let me looking for something I can actually show here. Hang on.
You kill yourself if you try and do all of it yourself.
Yeah, here we go. I can show this. because it's not being used in the actual show, because we're going to circuit festivals and some things that you cannot have demonstrated whatever. But we have some guys who, Chuck and Chris Marshall, who have done some great video, some great special effects in regards to Blender and those kind of things. And this is the kind of thing they got to come up with. So these are just some Battlestar Galactica related.
Oh yeah. Oh, awesome.
Stuff that I could never do.
Yeah, that's great.
So
yeah, you got the particle systems and everything working in there.
They're amazing, and they continuously amaze me with the other stuff that they're doing. It's just like, okay. So, but it's hard to find somebody. You have to find the fans, and those fans are out there. They'll help you, but you got to let everybody know that you're looking for them. Yeah,
you got to ask.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're not going to come to you.
Nope. I mean,
not usually.
Especially like something like this is, you could probably find 500 Star Wars special effects or video effects people that would love to help out, but you're only going to find 10 Battlestar Galactica 1978 guys because we're old.
You got to sell the sizzle. You just got to make it sexy to them.
That's it.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, J.J. Abrams made Star Trek cool again at one point back in 2009. So
anybody can make anything look cool with the lens flare. Come on.
Yeah, that's right.
Throw some lens flare in there. We're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's amazing.
There you go. That'll fix all your problems.
Just lens flare at the depth, and it'll hide all the errors.
That's it. Yep, hide all the errors with lens flares. That's what I'll do.
If you ever saw Battlestar Galactica Blood and Chrome, it was based about, oh my gosh, the lens flare in that one, holy cow!
I did not see that one.
Yeah, it's actually really, really good. But
storyline's good.
The story. Yeah, they went way. Like I think J.J. Abrams was like, "Whoa, dude, the lens flare." On that one.
I think, so you start talking about different ones. I mean, Battlestar's had some stuff that never took off, but should have. That's, the Blood and Chrome could have been a whole new season of style of Battlestar Galactica because it covers the new, the old war and everything else. Where Caprica was another great. That's one of my favorite Battlestar shows, other than 1978. Caprica was a fantastic look behind the scenes or behind the storyline. You get to know the Taurons and you get to know who they are. It's so much, I guess, mythology.
There's a world there.
You build into that world, and you're like, 90% of the people will never know the amount of detail that you went into in the background to make something look the way it did.
Well, think about Caprica too. They went into AI. They went into virtual reality and virtual spaces and things. Way before. Yeah, way before.
And you've got to be true to all of that's been established as canon in that universe to really please the fans. And that's something I found in Star Wars. There are so many fans that are know-it-alls. And they absolutely are. They do know it all. They'll call you out if you cross anything that's not canon and try and claim it as,
Sure.
They'll call you out. Alive,
they will.
That's like, why? We're having fun
Disney
here.
And Lucasfilm alive for that.
We're having fun here. Stop.
So I did a lot of research.
Yeah. What's the minutia? I guess there's one for you. What's something minutia-wise that you put in to the storyline that probably nobody will ever pick up? Was it a sigil, or was there something in the storyline that you did so much research on that nobody's ever going to see?
Oh, yeah. Now you
would include in a director's cut.
There's a lot of Easter eggs in there. I'm trying to think of what one of them is, but I'd have to. I'm just drawing a blank.
Put you on the spot. No problem. Yeah. I'm never coming back to talk to these guys again. But yeah, so I mean, we did some minutia things in Stranded Warrior that nobody will ever pick up. Some of the names hint off to what they actually do. Like Aemon is actually a name for, something that it's in Greek that means something else. And then just the different symbols. We made new symbols on the collars that have, different. There's references back to Greek mythology in regards to Apollo and his temple and those kind of things that it was on his temple, but you never see it anywhere else. And the Delphi type things that were in there. So we really went in depth that we would probably write an entire book about the background stuff that we put in.
That's great.
Some of the wording we put into the background we stole. We didn't steal.
But you made a role-playing game, didn't you?
We made a role-playing game.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
We got together with Dr. Macaulay and ABC Games, and they were big fans, and so we wrote a role-playing game with them. And so now, and that we just released that for free.
Awesome.
It's on our website. That if you're into role-playing games, it's there too. Yeah,
Cool.
Shawn, I almost forgot about that.
That's what I'm here for.
So I mean, there's that world that you build underneath. So
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
there's
for sure.
so much.
I thought about pulling in some of the actors and essential crew and doing kind of almost like a DVD commentary.
Yes.
Oh yeah, please
That
do
would be
it.
amazing.
But
I remember
but
this
video
scene. I
form,
did this. Yeah.
like playing the movie and then just talking about the making
Yep.
of it, just
Sure.
little bit by little bit, and then maybe if we're talking too long, pause the film and then go back over it. Maybe show some behind the scenes photos and things and flesh it out. Just kind of dive deep. There's a lot to talk.
And that's an easy turn, really. I mean, it sounds hard, but it's not. You get them all together and you clip some microphones to them, set them down in the room, and rewatch the movie and say,
We do it right here because I've got a screen that comes down. You know,
I rewatch
you
the
go.
movie and say, just say what you think about this.
Just talk.
Talk through it, and
we can pause.
that's always
Play.
a fun thing. You get DVDs that have the director's cut, I guess is what it is. Not director's cut, but the behind the scene footage or behind the scene commentary. The commentary.
They're usually
track.
audio
commentary.
commentaries, but I'd love to do a video commentary and just play that. It's been on the back burner for a while now. I just haven't found the time to do it and pull everyone in and get on it.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see if I dropped time. Oh, everything's good.
That was-
There it goes. Huh. Okay. Doing some testing behind the scenes, by the way. Looking to see where I drop off and why. So, but yeah, bring everybody in, have them sit down, watch the movie, just clip some microphones on them, hook it up to probably like a Zoom L8 or something, a track recorder, all the different tracks, and have different people.
Yeah, I've got a mixer to use.
Yeah, different different tracks for different people, and
Yep.
have them talk through it. That would be fantastic. That would be fun to see, just in the fan film that you have now, and just to rewatch the other part would be just the behind the scenes. Everybody wants to know what were they thinking? What was that? How uncomfortable were those horns stuck to his head? How did they get them off? Were those glued on? And is that the reason why he's bald now?
Yeah,
that was the best line too.
It was
Best
a
line in the
accident.
thing when it got cut.
Is that why he's bald? He had to glue those on? I mean, fantastic. All right, everybody. It is close to our time to go. We are running out of, we always like to say, we're out of broadcast range. We're getting out of broadcast range. Just, we're still looking for
Long-range
planet Earth.
scan.
Yep, still looking for planet Earth. We can't find it. But hopefully we'll, be back in connection later on. But Shawn, thank you for coming on. If you haven't seen Shawn before, he runs Battlestar Bulletin Board, a fantastic Facebook group as well. And all of the information, he's been playing around with some AI stuff, is pictures and things like that you're going on. What's going on Anything new coming on Battlestar Bulletin board lately?
Yeah, actually got some good play the other day from a little. I guess I'll call it a micro novel. You guys, I said this last time I was on. You had someone on. I can't remember their name, but they did little micro novels, literally like on a bubblegum wrapper. Well, I took it a little bit further than that.
Oh yeah,
it's like
I remember that.
There's like a couple pages, maybe a page or two, but just little
micro
novel. Yeah, micro stories. And I also I took some AI pictures I was working with, and we
Those
made
are amazing, by the way. So much fun.
Yeah, thank you. A little story around kind of the legacy of Athena in the Battlestar Galactica mythology, and got some good play. But yeah, it's just fun to come up with that stuff. I'm still working on my sequel to my magnum opus, Galactica: The Quest for Earth, but 297 pages. Took me 2 years to write it. And now and that was back a couple of years ago, and now I'm working on the sequel, and it's a labor of love. But I write for myself, and if anyone else likes it, that's a bonus. But that's what we got going on.
So where can we find that?
You can find actually, it's funny you asked that because it was on fanfic.net. And fanfic.net is for sale. I saw, and so I don't know where it's going to land after that. It's on Battlestar Bulletin board on the group, the private group page. Yeah, if you in the files, if you're not a member, please shoot me a note. But yeah, we share it on there. We share it on the public page now and then as well. So. But yeah, that's what I'm working on the sequel to that, and then just kind of in between that, just so I don't go crazy just on that one project. I like to put out something every day, some little story behind the scenes of Battlestar Galactica 78, or some little, like you said, it could be AI, it could be something original from any of our members, but that's what I like to say.
I mean, what I did was I uploaded the novels. And Google Notebook. If you upload the novels in Google Notebook and then query questions off of it. Because if you don't remember it, so I put all of 14 novels, PDF novels, into Google Notebook, and then you go into Google Notebook and ask, okay, how many Battlestars were there? Or it will go through and find the answers and give you references to where it found the answers to. It's
I saw in the chat. It can't. You don't want it to replace.
No, can't replace
humans, right?
Build it, yeah.
But it's a great tool. I mean, I use it for revision. I use it for editing. Like I don't have an editor, so I need some help for stuff like that. And so in the art piece, I couldn't draw to save my life. So using it with that for the art piece. To go along with the story. I mean, it's a tool, but you can't replace the human element and
right.
The creativity.
I think it's important that people realize that it's not going to replace the human element in certain things. I can't draw, so I would use it to help me draw a storyboard. Something like that. I mean, that might be something I could use it for, or if I have I'll query it in regards. I'll be writing writing my own. Right now, we're writing our own sci-fi adventure, and I'll come across something. I'm like, I need some help here, so I'll drop it in there and ask it a question. According, what other things do you think this should include? And it'll give you a listing, and then that will sometimes trigger your mind to say, okay, I need to add this, or it helps you. It doesn't write it for you, but it helps guide you, and I think that's just like, you originally type up a email, and you hit the button now and say reword this email better. And you're like, that is a better.
We use it at work every day. We use it at work every day for national communications. Yeah. Absolutely. Polish it up. It polishes it up.
I think it's important that we realize that AI is here to help us, not to become our robot overlords. No
Skynet. No Skynet.
Cylons rule. That's the way, baby. They're actually in the UFOs, and they're coming back.
It's great for research.
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
gosh. Yes.
For research all the time.
Super
Like,
fast. It's so fast. Yeah.
for example, I was writing the episode 3 of Rendezvous, and I was like, I need to find out when Maul actually appears on Malachor for the first time and appears on Ezra. And I'm like, it's somewhere in that whole series.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, where does that actually happen? Oh, it happens in this season, this episode. Oh, okay, now I can go watch.
And here's a link to where you can find that information.
Yeah, and so great for research. It guides you to, find exactly what you need to find.
And in your case, it would help you keep it
time.
canon.
Yeah,
definitely help you keep it canon at that point.
Yeah.
And
That's
one
great.
of the things I just was blown away with, and I know we've gone on an AI streak here, but one of the things we were blown away with is you drop a PDF in Google Notebook, and you tell it to give you a podcast, and it does a 10-minute podcast with a male and a female person that you
That's
would
crazy.
not.
Wow.
You could not tell the difference, and it will tell you what that PDF is all about.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, what?
That's bananas. That's bananas.
That's like, and it's like you would think they're real people. You would not sit there and go, it's AI, it's robotic. It's not. No, you would. If I recorded it and dropped it somewhere, you would not know the difference.
It's
Guaranteed.
crazy.
And then
That's a little scary.
We use 11 labs at work. We have leadership comes in and records something, and it's like, okay, crap, he didn't say this or say that. I need to say this or that, and we use 11 labs to duplicate their voices, and
Wow.
and you can't tell the difference.
Wow.
Yes, you're like
signing off on that.
Yep, they have to sign off on that. Yeah, so there's a you have to give them a certain amount.
NDA.
We have inside of 11 labs. It tells you, does this person give you give consent?
Wow.
But it'll duplicate voices, which helps out in regards to voiceovers, so much. I mean, when you do a voiceover on something and they've messed it up, I can hide it with a PowerPoint picture or something. If we're doing a training video, you put that PowerPoint picture there, but I can't recreate the audio.
Yeah.
Now I can. Now I just say, okay, I want him to say this. We just type it into the thing, and then it just recreates the audio. It's just so wow. It's amazing some of the things that you can do. Just the script. Some people use it for script writing. I haven't seen it really do that well, but we'll drop in a PDF in regards to some kind of new policy. We'll say, write me a script, and it gives us a starting point.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
think,
The world we live in.
Yep, the world we live in. I think it's and I think
Where are we going?
as fans, that makes it even easier to write in regards to fan fiction or something like that. I mean, you can now have somebody who's going to help you find that information.
Well, Tipsy, it's like I don't know we're running long, but real quick, Richard Hatch wrote his 7 books or whatever, right?
Yep.
In Battlestar Galactica, and the beloved Richard Hatch, Captain Apollo, he wrote his book. But in every one of his novels, there was a ghostwriter, right?
Yep.
There was another author. He didn't actually write him. Let's call it like it was.
Yeah.
He had a story. He gave notes to the auther, and they wrote.
He was the AI for them.
Exactly. That's my point is, so you and I may not. I don't have a publisher, right? But I can use AI to edit and proofread and polish up my paragraph I just wrote or my page, and tighten it up. So again, it's how you use it, and
there's a lot about that there.
Now B-roll, I cannot get over runway. Will I need B-roll on a truck driving through a desert. I need a white truck driving through a desert scene with from a something point of view.
Boy,
that creates the B-roll for you. Sometimes it's a little funky, but 90% of the time I would say it's better than some of the stuff I get off of let's say Story Blocks, or I get off of Envato, or I get off of Artlist, or I get off of whatever. site that I go to find some B-roll, it'll do it. And you're like, wow, that's so good. Why? I almost feel guilty using it.
I shoot B-roll, put it up on sites. It makes them not a whole lot of money there, but some. And I've read articles saying that's going to be gone in a number of years. People just type in. Now, where it won't change things is where you need something historically accurate. You know, you want to do a documentary on this event in history. You can't use AI for that.
Right.
Thank goodness. Well, let's hope we don't.
Fake news.
I think that was one of the big worries with Hollywood in regards to the strike.
Yeah.
Was the use of secondary actors or background actors. You know, they're going and scanning these people and just dropping them into the scene. I mean, like you're using my image or using my voice, like I was just saying a minute ago, copying my voice or copying my whatever, and I'm not getting any money for that. You're stealing me and putting it on the screen, and that's one of the things I noticed in the, we did the releases. It was the releases. You're saying you're releasing your image and your voice to me. So that means I could take your image and your voice, run it through AI, run it through 11 labs, and create whatever you want, whatever I want you to say.
Scary.
Yeah. And they weren't getting paid for it. So, and that's why I look at a lot of these. There's a lot of backstage things. I look at backstage. I don't go on much. I go backstage and look at the backstage. If you're interested in becoming an actor somewhere, helping editing somewhere else, backstage is one of those great places you can go look. Unfortunately, they make it's about $100 a year to go on there and find something that's close by. But you can always go find someplace, and they're always looking for people who work for free. Of course, that's where we got a lot of our actors for in our show. And you go to those I guess the background people, and you're scanning people in, and now you're talking, just like you were saying, Brent. Now you're looking at creating new planets using Unreal Engine, and these are things that you can take somebody's image and drop it in there, scan them in, and now make them walk around and say whatever you want them to do, and they're not getting any money for it. They're not getting any. Well, they may get credit for it, the credits, but that's a what if type thing.
Yep, they got to be game.
Yep.
They have to put that signature on the line.
Yeah, and they do every time you sign a SAG waiver, or you sign that waiver. Because you have to have that as a filmmaker,
right?
Otherwise, you're going to come back later on and go, "Hey, I didn't want to be in that. I didn't want to be in that scene, and now take me out of that movie." And you're like, "Oh, what do I do? I just lost my actor that was in there. I can't remove that person." So,
well, yeah, I think those release forms are only for the project that they're working on. It's not for
not overall. Yeah, not forever.
Not for that. Yeah.
Yeah, not forever, but it's just during the project, and that's that's still amazing. So, what world we live in.
Talking about the Skeleton Crew, there's some really cool Easter eggs, and I don't think I'm going to spoil any part of the plot here, but they use some of the Star Wars Holiday Special footage.
No,
notice that?
No, I
missed that.
Yes, there is a scene that a character is watching a hologram, and it's of some dancers and actors in the Holiday Special from.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome!
How does that work? Right?
Right? Yeah.
Do those actors that were in the Holiday Special get royalties now?
Right.
They're using
that's crazy.
And I love that little tidbit, that little Easter egg. That was great.
Yep.
But how does the legality of that work?
Sure.
Tons and tons of lawyers.
Didn't Lorette Spang, when she was on, didn't she talk about something where she had to go, she played Cassiopeia in Battlestar Galactica, and didn't she have to go at Universal for some royalties or residuals or something?
Yeah.
That happens all the time, right?
Yeah. They had done some things to.
Oh, the T-shirt, all the merchandise. That's what it was.
Yep,
All the
merchandising.
all the merch that they made with her image. Yeah.
that nobody paid for, and that's how there's a action figure I'm looking for. It's not a doll, it's an action figure of Athena that was put up in Mego, MEGO, and it only went out for a little while before she found out about it, and she halted it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's very few out there, but there are some out there that's like, it's one of those figures that.
And you got to have that Athena.
Dang
Yeah,
right,
we know
Athena, baby.
On that note.
Call me Athena. Just
Good stuff.
But have you had Brent? Have you had any of the real Star Wars actors reach out to you or talk to you in regards to this show?
I have not.
Wow.
I screened Rendezvous.
That's sad.
I know. I that would be great. I screened Rendezvous at the LA Comic-Con. Rosario Dawson. I wanted to talk to her about it, but I didn't want to wait in like a 3-hour line to see her for an autograph or something, and then pay an exorbitant amount of money for that, because I didn't really want the autograph. I just wanted to talk to her and say, hey, check this film out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really, really hard to even get 5 feet away from her.
I find, and don't get me wrong, if there's any actors out there that are watching, I know that the older actors, I know we have some connections in regards to the older actors. Older is such a wrong word. The classic actors. Actors of the originals. Battlestar Galactica, that are out there that actually reach out and talk to the fans and meet with the fans and things like that.
That's awesome.
I think it's so it's such a mistake for an actor to make themselves unavailable to the fandom. Not to a fan, not to a singular fan. Of course, that would be, something that they just can't do. But to a fandom. I mean, the reason why Katie Sackhoff, for instance, is who Katie Sackhoff is because of the fans. The people love her. The people love her acting. She is talented. But for them to reach back down, we don't see a lot of it. Not to say it doesn't exist, but we don't see a lot of the actors reaching back down to the fandom, not fans, because that would be weird. The one fan, that's called stalking. We don't do that kind of stuff. But for that one actor to reach out back out to the fans, or to, if it would be fantastic to see we actually have some actors come on our chats sometimes, but if you had you've got your movie, would it be great for one of the actors to reach out and say, hey, this fantastic fan film. Maybe it's because they can't do it, or they won't do it. I don't know which one it is, but I think it's remiss for those people who are making a living from the fans to not
Brent, you should have
reach back down.
You should have walked by her, Rosa, and with a big tablet playing the.
I couldn't even get close. The closest I got was she was on stage, right? Doing a Q&A, and I was in this massive audience. I had a poster. I held it up, and
see,
she glanced at it right at the end of the stage presentation, and I don't know if she really knew what it was, but she pointed at it and gave a thumbs up slightly.
See, that's cool.
But I wanted to give the poster to her, say, hey, take this.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I was like 50 feet away.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, some of these actors must be inundated by the fans. I mean,
it's got to be overwhelming.
Some of the stalking.
Yeah.
I mean, even that poor the girl that was in Kenobi, the young girl that was in Kenobi, she will always be known
As little Leia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as little Leia.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. I mean, she'll go to Comic Cons from now until she turns
Till the end of
70 years
time.
old.
Yep. She will. She's got a gig.
Yeah.
She's got a gig
No,
for the
that's-
rest of her
For
life.
life. Yeah, you got a gig for life because of the fans,
Of the
the
fans.
fandom. And the only reason why that person, that little Leia, has got her spot is because somebody loved the fandom so much they wrote a script
Yeah.
or had an idea. I really think those people are just so underrated. The people who write or people who have that idea and create that world in their mind and then put it on paper and then put it on screen. I think that's something that, you know, I love the actors, don't get me wrong, but we really need to go back and look at those people who create the worlds, people who create the stories. Those are really important people that don't get the praise that they should. I mean, when's the last time you went to a Comic-Con and goes, oh yeah, that's so and so, he wrote Star Wars, or he wrote that episode, there's not a lot of people that do that. They all go and go see, oh, that's, you know, whoever, he's the actor.
We all have idol worship.
Yeah.
I met Katie Sackhoff last year at Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Oh, cool.
And she was great. And she was the line was bananas. And by the way, there was Mary McDonnell, who played Laura Roslin in the New Galactica. She was there. Jamie Bamber, who played Apollo, was there. And they, you know, their lines were okay, but then you got to Katie, and the line was around the block, right? And she was very much, as you approached her, she was, I'm so sorry for that line. But she looked you in the eye. She answered a couple of questions as she's signing, you know. And she
And you know,
engaged.
yeah, and those celebrities that have those massive lines and followings, they've got to be exhausted at the end of that.
100%.
Oh, absolutely
100%.
exhausted.
Yeah.
You can't imagine, but they do it, and they do it for the fans. It's really impressive.
Yeah.
Really, really amazing.
100%.
And you know, it's, you know, but I think Katie, for instance, Katie has a podcast.
She does, yeah.
And
So she gets
it. And she does interviews with other stars.
Yep.
Whereas if I ever became famous, if I ever became the director or whatever else, I would reach out to some of my top fans and have them on my show. I mean, those are people who put me there. These directors and everything else, they're good, but the fans are the ones who put me in the position that makes me famous. Those people who worked for me, the people who worked behind the scenes, those are people that would have on a podcast or something like that. And don't get me wrong, Katie, if you're watching, which I'm sure you're not, by the way.
You never know.
You never know, but if you're watching, I mean, that's you know, you always want to reach out to the fans. What did you like about my performance? Call me Katie. I'm not saying anything bad. Just call me. But you know, I'm not looking to make. We're not looking to make money on this. We're not looking to make, you know, millions of dollars or whatever else. I'm looking to educate myself as well as inspire myself by utilizing the fans who inspire me. So, you know, Shawn inspires me in regards to what he's done in his in the fandom in regards to writing stories and creating a bulletin board where people go in and talk about it and people reminisce and remember. That's special. People, you know, people who acted in the show don't get how special that is. I think they're remiss in that. So
The writing's where it begins. If you don't have a good story to tell, then the actors don't have a place.
Totally agree.
You know, the movie that encapsulates fandom is, of course, Galaxy Quest.
Oh, damn! Ouch. Or if you want to show the show, Con Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you watch the CONMAN, which is the Alan Tudyk is plays a person who is a star in a show, and he goes to all these cons and all the crazy stories at the con that happens to him. If you ever haven't watched that show, gotta watch that one too. But
I'll have to look at that to the list.
Con Man, Alan he's a fantastic actor, and I love his new what's Alien
the Alien
Resident
Alien. Oh,
yeah, Resident Alien. That's right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a fantastic show that is too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we definitely have gone over our time.
We
we can go all night.
Great show.
Brent, I thank you for coming back on. I figured we were giving you a break. I was like, we had him on for this long, and he's got to be tired, and he must, he doesn't really want to sit and talk to people all this time, but it's fantastic that you came back. I mean, we have so much fun on this show.
We had a second show.
Yeah. It's like second breakfast.
Hey. Oh, check this out.
See,
I started something else
from the Hobbit hole.
Yeah.
What's that? Missed it. Hang on. Let me
focus
get you.
on the.
There you go. Oh, what's?
Hang on.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Let me get you.
It's like a menu.
Wait. I got it. I'll get it.
Okay, I'll hold it still.
There it is.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Breakfast. Second breakfast. 11th luncheon, dinner, supper.
Hey, my in-laws got this for me. I just love it. Love it.
That's great.
Isn't it great when you get a present that's like they know you? Oh, they get me.
I see you.
They get me. I get it.
It's like Avatar. I see you. Great show. Great show.
Thanks everybody for joining up. We've had tons of people coming in. I apologize that I don't do Pete because I'm trying to run back and forth in the bottom of this. But we have Lola and Erica and John. Everybody who came on. John Van Gostien, who helped line this up with Brent. Thank you so much. We got authors, award-winning authors that are on here. I just can't catch everybody, and of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't say Mediocre Modeler because he helped us out creating definitely cool stuff for us. Props for us in regards to our show, and just so many people out there. Thank you, and thank you, Brent, for what you do, and thank you, and keep going. I want to encourage you. Keep going. You've got fans. If you encourage one person to do something, then it's well worth it, in my opinion. If you encourage one person to write another story, if you encourage another person to write their own or do their own fan film, it's so worth it. And I believe that you are at the cusp of that, and you are helping other people create new stories. And somebody's going to walk up to you someday, or if they haven't done it already, and said, you know what? You did this, and I loved it so much that I did that. If you didn't do X, then I wouldn't have done Y. And that's so important that we realize that those kind of things are out there. Those people are out there, and we have the opportunity to make a change in the fandoms. We have an opportunity to make a change in their lives, and you've done so much. And Shawn, you have done so much as well. So thank you, sir, so much. I will sign off for the night, but as we always say every night, it is all about the fans, because the fans fuel the fleet. So,
fuel the fleet.
Good night, everybody. Happy New Year.
Guys. Take care. Happy New Year.
Thanks again for having me.
Yeah, thanks, friend. Nice to meet you.
You too.